Without further ado, let us welcome the cast of Marvel's Captain America Civil War, Director Joe Russo. Anthony Mackie, the Falcon. The Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan. And the Captain himself, Chris Evans, Captain America. Hi and welcome guys to Singapore. Thank you so much. We're thrilled. We're thrilled to have all of you here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Joe, perhaps I could start with you. Have you been in Singapore before?
First time, and I absolutely love it.
Fantastic. What about you, Sebastian? Have you been in Singapore?
Never been, but I may not go back, I don't know.
Chris?
Yeah, I think it's my first time. I'm pretty sure it's my first time. I don't know. I've done a lot of press tours where you have like a day somewhere and you get out of town, but I'm pretty sure this is my first time. I think I remember this.
Anthony?
It's my first time, but not my last. I'm coming back for the F1 race in September.
Nice. Wow, okay. Now, Joe, tell us what it's like that all the Avengers are back together again in this movie.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I think the thing that makes the Marvel Universe special is the character interaction. And I think this movie has more character interaction than any film that's preceded it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you've got Captain America versus Iron Man. What more could you want?
Speaking of which, this question is for Chris Evans. We know that the promotion for the movie is also a battle between Team Cap and Team Iron Man. So how is it going right now, and are we winning the game so far?
That's a good question. I couldn't say for sure. It's been hard keeping my finger on the pulse, given the fact that we're doing our own thing over here. But I think the entire battle itself will help the movie. The more kind of buzz we can create, the more energy we can create with the conflict between the two camps is only going to help the film. So I welcome it.
And I think Team Cap and Singapore are going to answer back in a big way.
Yeah, I have confidence. I saw what Downey did in Paris, and it was great. But you know what? I think we can really do something special here in Singapore. Show them that it's all about Team Cap.
And of course, it's going to be happening at the Helix Bridge area. Remember, everyone, be there and tell all your friends to be there as well. Best view from the Youth Olympic Park and the Art Science Museum right here at Marina Bay Sands. All right, now before we open up the floor to the questions, very quickly right now, I'd like to start with Director Joe Russo once again. Why should the world catch Captain America Civil War?
You know what, I think it's a really complex story that you could call a culmination film of everything that has preceded it in the Marvel Universe, because it brings all of the characters together in a big family fight. And I think the spectacle is enormous in the film. I think the performances are exceptional. We have this incredible cast, and you know, it's heartbreaking, but it's also a great deal of fun. So I think you're going to have a really well-rounded experience at the movies.
All right. One word for the rest of the superheroes here as to why people should catch Captain America Civil War. One word to describe the movie, Sebastian.
Heartbreaking.
It's true. I felt that.
How about record-setting? I mean, it's a hyphen, but give me a break.
Anthony?
Ass-kicking?
You know, we can relate to everything they just said. Because some of us caught the media screening last night, and when you said heartbreaking, I related to that completely.
Did you not relate to record-breaking?
I related to that as well. As well as ass-kicking.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll now open up the floor to the questions.
It's okay. I'm from F Magazine Singapore. This question is for Joe. what was it like going from directing paintball battles in Greendale Community College to staging this huge fight at the Leipzig airport? And also, how did you and your brother decide who was going to be your team cast and who was going to be your Iron Man? Thank you very much.
It's been a fantastic journey from directing Community to directing Civil War. I think there's a lot of, look, filmmaking is filmmaking. You show up and you have a camera and there are actors there and you shoot. Certainly there are things that are more complicated about making Marvel movies, especially on the scale that we're working. But we have an incredible support team at Marvel. Our visual effects team is unbelievable. So I think, things that we do in comedy do correlate to Marvel storytelling. When you execute a physical gag, a comedic gag, there is a lot of correlation to action. It's all spatial relationships on the screen, it's editing, it's rhythm. And then the second, to answer the question, not a huge difference. But we feel incredibly supported at Marvel, and we love the cast. We love what we're doing. I've been collecting comics since I was a kid, so it's a dream come true for me. And the second part of your question was,
how did you and your brother
flip the coin to decide who was going to take whose side? We sat in the room for months with the writers Marcus and McFeely, and we went through the cast that we had available to us and the cast that we didn't have available to us, and we thought very hard about who would line up against who based on their motivations up to this point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And of course we looked for some surprising choices because we didn't want it to be very, completely predictable to the audience as to who was going to pick which side. And that's how we drew up Team Iron Man, Team Cap.
Hi, I'm Liv from Fox Movies Premium. Just want to ask Joe Russo a question. How is it like directing such amazing stars and bringing them all together and having this epic battle, really?
It was pretty incredible directing this cast. I always say it's a Steven Soderbergh level of cast. I think Marvel has done an amazing job filling out the Marvel Cinematic Universe with some of the best actors in the world. Makes my job very easy, because the other thing that's kind of unprecedented about what Marvel's doing is this is long-form storytelling of a scale that we've never seen before in movies. Sure, we've seen sequelization, but this is taking major characters from different franchises and interweaving them into one big story. So these actors, because they play these parts so much, they will know their characters better than my brother and I ever will. So they're the true caretakers of the character, and we work in collaboration with them on the storytelling and on their characters and on their motivation and on their story arcs. And working on that giant airport sequence, I think that's what you're referring to, was amazing. It's really that dream you have as a kid who collects comics of who would win in a fight against whom, and we get to play it out on the grandest scale ever. So again, a dream come true.
Thank you very much, Joe. Once again, Joe Russo. That gentleman over here. That gentleman over there. Yeah. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, hi. I'm Chico Garcia from the Philippines, SM Cinema. I would just like to ask, what exactly can we expect from the IMAX RE2D? Camera that, what exactly is it, can we expect from it, and what parts of the movie can we expect it from?
So we shot the 17-minute airport sequence that I was referring to exclusively on the IMAX camera. So it's in the IMAX aspect ratio, which is a much higher top to bottom ratio. The rest of the movie is shot anamorphic, which is a smaller top to bottom aspect ratio. So I would absolutely recommend going to see the film in IMAX because you're going to get incredible scale and scope out of that sequence. Making superhero movies, we have a lot of characters who have verticality, meaning in terms of either height or the fact that they fly, and the frames are very dense in those sequences. There's a lot going on. There's something happening in the foreground, the middle ground, and the background, and that for the scale of that frame will allow you to see everything that's happening. So I would highly recommend. It was specifically designed for people to experience in that massive IMAX format, and I would highly recommend doing it.
Thank you, Joe. Mic number 1 to the lady at the end.
Hi guys, I'm Yvette King from E! News, and I'm Team Cap, obviously, based on what I'm wearing. Joe, sorry, this question is not for you. So guys, from an acting perspective, what was the most challenging scene to make? There's a load of action and spectacle, as you mentioned, but also there's a lot of character development. So which is actually harder?
Well, the action is exhausting and it's physically demanding, but I think what's harder in terms of your approach as an actor are the more emotional scenes. There's a much greater personal responsibility in those scenes. The action scenes, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen and a lot of people are going to make those scenes look good regardless. The emotional moments, that's up to you. And it's, well, I shouldn't say that. It's up to you and the director, really. I mean, that's where Joe and Anthony are so fantastic. They have a wonderful understanding of cinema. A lot of directors don't always want to reference other movies, but Joe and Anthony, they're true cinephiles. They have a really extensive knowledge of the cinematic world, and their vernacular is very sophisticated in a way that they can give really simple direction where you can understand very quickly what the scene needs, and you trust them completely. So in those emotional moments, it's a combination of, it's fun, it's a little bit of fear, because every actor I know is egoic and terrified, but Joe and Anthony certainly make it a very comfortable landscape to take risks, and those scenes I think are a lot more challenging. That was a long-winded answer, I'm sorry.
That was all right. Thank you very much, Chris Evans, Captain America. Mic number 3 to this lady over here, please.
Hello, I'm Ayu. I'm from Indonesia. Anyway, regarding the acting skills, for sure we don't need to question about that. But when it comes to press conference, do you guys prepare anything? Is there any message? Like the do's and the don'ts, don't answer
Yes, love. Yes, love. Yes, love.
So please guys, Cap, Bucky, and Falcon.
No. We just, we try to, the thing that's different from us, and I think the reason why the 4 of us asked to be sent on this tour together is because we try to, get to know the culture that we're in and eat the food and meet the people, whereas Team Iron Man, they're more about just going and being pampered and, they go from the press conference to the spa, from the spa to their jet, stuff like that. And we're more about, mingling, getting it, we hitchhike. Everybody hang on to me, I put on a jetpack, we go straight across, But no, it's really more so about, learning stuff about the people, eating, stingray and chili crab and stuff like that, and learning yes la or no la, stuff like that. We really enjoy it. So that's mostly what we prepare for the press conference stuff.
Hashtag so honest. Hashtag so cool.